Okay, so at this point, I believe I was saying that Josh Taylor was playing right into Catterall's hands. Catterall didn't really have to change a thing because the game plan was working just fine. Um, you see this warning for low blow. I mean for rabbit punches, and that happened continuously. So there was not going to be any change there. Um, Interestingly, uh, Kell Brook here actually also had Jack Catterall ahead in the fight at this point. So um, I don't think that I was being at all unfair or delusional to say that I had Jack Catterall comfortably ahead at that point. So I want to move into the eighth round where we get into the knockdown right there. I want to show you what initiated the knockdown. All right, we have more wrestling. Taylor's doing more of what he shouldn't be doing right now. Like I said, being the bigger fighter, he shouldn't be down there at all. Now watch closely. Tied up, Taylor hits, look like possibly another rabbit punch, but anyway. All right, here we go, separation. And right here, he feels like he got hit with another rabbit punch. And you see him touch his head, and then he commences to knocking Josh Taylor down. That moment of frustration where it continually happened motivated him to get his revenge, and he did it in a legal way. Legal, not illegal. Watch again. So we have Taylor trying to muscle him around. It's not effective. He again hits behind the head, and we have it again right coming up. Here, he gets mad. Boom. And there's your knockdown. And Taylor was visibly shaken. He has no legs right now. It was a legitimate knockdown. Okay? All right, so this is round 8. Now we have a knockdown. As far as I'm concerned, Taylor was, beyond the point of no return, in my opinion. But the fight continued, and Taylor continued to do the same thing. He continued to do the same thing. So the decision really was criminal because Catterall has worked for a long time and apparently even took step-aside money for Taylor to be able to I guess he did unify. At any rate, Catterall gave him that opportunity by stepping aside. So I think he said it was like a 4-year wait before before uh, before he would have this chance to actually fight Taylor. So he's got more fights than Taylor, and he's undefeated. And he stepped up to the plate after stepping aside, and he did a beautiful job of, executing a well-laid plan. And he didn't get the benefit of his, he and his his team. He didn't get the benefit of all the work and all the preparation, and he should have gotten this fight. So strength and conditioning wise, I think both the fellows were in, pretty good shape. Although I see things in Josh Taylor that he could improve upon that would actually bring his game up. Now, maybe some of the problem is that he's trying to make this particular weight And honestly, I think he should be fighting heavier because if he's going in 16 pounds heavier upon rehydration, then my guess is that he's weaker than he should be. In the fight itself. Sometimes I think people do too much to try to make the lighter weight class, and it can hurt you. Um, Now, if he decides to move up in weight class, I hope he carries more strength, Josh Taylor, because if he ends up doing something like that and he runs into guys like, like pound for pound, Bud Crawford, or even if he were to fight, I just did a video about Chris Eubank Jr. If those guys were to meet at a weight, because I don't think he can't. I don't see him beating somebody like Chris Eubank Jr. Definitely not a Bud Crawford, either. People like that if he moves up, but who knows? We'll see what he does. But right now, the types of mistakes that he's making, I think he needs to talk to his trainers and really look at this film very closely and try to understand why things weren't changed in between rounds, in a way that would have, um, allowed him to take control of this fight because he never had control. Um, just, the strategy was garbage. Um, so the thing is this, like I say, he didn't show ring generalship. He just didn't. Catterall dictated what was going on. Catterall used a more effective jab. Catterall knocked him down. He didn't knock Catterall down. Uh, at no time was Taylor actually moving in the right direction away from the power shot to make it more difficult for Catterall to catch him with the straight left hand. He never, uh, you know, was moving, offline on his attack well enough not to be hit. Uh, his height advantage was nullified because he uses that wide stance and puts himself at the same height or lower height at his as his opponent. Uh, his reach advantage was useless. His weight advantage didn't, if he had any. I don't know where